faced some criticism in the past for how I install my fences. Some of my videos in the past were me installing field fencing through woods, thick woods, poison ivy, vines, all sorts of stuff. What I thought I'd do is just share with you how I actually do my field fencing. I know that there's always going to be people out there who could do it better. And I don't mind you leaving your comments because I learn from comments. But what I have here is a come along or a hand winch. I like using this. We're using Red Brand fencing, which is pretty solid fencing, so it can handle a little bit of tugging with a hand winch or a come along, whatever you want to call it. So we've gotten done about 450 feet of fencing. I'm coming up on 500 feet here. Basically, what I've been doing, what we did do is we pushed our rolls all the way down to the far end and rolled them out, and that's just the way that the rolls had to roll to unroll them along the side of the fence line where the fence is going to go. And I put the fence on the side, if you're looking at your T-post, where you have the little notches, because those little notches are going to help you as you build this thing out. In any case, we've got our fence rolled out kind of ahead of time. Now, what I'm doing is that from the last place I stopped, I'm coming down about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm coming down 6 posts to my 7th post. They're all 12 feet apart. You can do them 10 feet apart, you can do them 8 feet apart, but I wouldn't go much over 12 feet with field fence if you have large livestock. I've seen people do them 16 to 18 feet apart. I just don't feel like that's a very solid fence when you have large livestock. So I do mine at 12 feet. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually going to use the come along to tighten up the bottom of the fence line. Because once I get the bottom of the fence line tight, the rest of the stretching I'm actually gonna do up and down. That way the fence is pulling on the bottom of my fence posts where they're attached to the ground and they're the strongest, because T-posts are a little wobbly. The stretching that I'm doing coming up this way is, you know, putting weight again on the most solid part of the fence. So I stretch it along the bottom. I'm not stretching the top. And then I'm gonna hand stretch it by kind of stepping on the fence and pulling up as hard as I can along the top wire. And you'll see that the end result is actually a pretty straight, solid, flush fence. This way works pretty well for me, but you know, different people have different tactics. There is a mole. After doing so many fence posts, my knees are getting weak. Okay, so my come along's a little busted up. What I try and do is just kind of hook it on the edge there and pull this down until I hit a spot. It's gotta be this way. And I just hook it onto the fence and tighten this bad boy up. Something I like to do once it starts to get taut is just walk down the fence and pull it into all the posts. Finish tightening this up, and you can see slipped. You can see how much slack I'm actually getting out of this right here. Now this is the longest run I've done, and I had to pull it a little tighter than normal, and I busted one of my links. I didn't bust it, it just moved. I can fix that later, so I'm not too concerned about it, but I've got this pretty tight. So now I'm gonna go down and secure the bottoms of all the posts. Now, everybody has a different way of doing this. I like to get the bottom of my fence secured as tight to the ground as I can, because that's gonna deter things like coyotes and stuff from trying to go underneath the fence, and it's gonna make them work to get around it. If they have to work to get around it, they're gonna dig a hole somewhere. I'm gonna figure out where they're getting through and be able to stop them. In this pasture, we're gonna have some baby calves, so I want this as low as possible. The 12-foot spacing is also going to help you with that, but if I was truly building this just for calves, I'd probably put those posts even closer just so that I could really hunker this thing close to the ground. But realistically, fence will most likely grow into the ground after one season anyway, because it's close enough. You can't do a project like this without having fencing pliers. They have an ability to kind of grip these wires and pull them around in ways that you're not going to get without having these specialized pliers. I have two different kinds. I have a crescent that my daughter was using earlier, and then I have this one, which I can't remember the brand, DeWalt. I like these DeWalts. I haven't used the crescents. I bought the crescents because I thought I lost the DeWalt, and then I found the DeWalt. Notice it's all rusty. Wasn't put away. But I really like this fencing plier. I'm very impressed with it. Okay, so once I get my fence bottoms in, I'll come in. It's important to kind of pull the wire against the post before you do this, because otherwise it's going to tend to want to bow out. You just attached the bottom with the whole thing laying down. The wires need to kind of get pulled through that wire. But what I'll do is I'll come in and I'll stretch and kind of lean the post to the right a little bit to get the wire up on a bracket there. Uh-oh. Should have had one of these ready. I'm gonna do that again. Only this time I can't talk. There's in my mouth. My daughter will probably come along here tomorrow and just attach another one about midway down. So we've got 3 clips per post. But kind of the way we have this system set up is I come through and do the tops and the bottoms and the stretching. She comes through and hits all the center ones. So it's a pretty good system. But we have done, like I said, probably close to 500 feet of fence today. But I'm trying to get this up for now, and then tomorrow we got to turn a corner and install a fence gate.